So Timbuktu, Ghana, Mali, Sumanguru, you know what you're shown. Where you get, what you're shown. So Timbuktu.
Good afternoon to you. Pacho, maybe it's that I'm not quite making a trip to make a cheap. The Papa said, because the Ukrainian from somebody was said, Yanit. Ukraini, and our farming is a business. And also, because the Kriya, what you say, is a Kriya, Kriyajuma, Okriani, Madame so Okriani, that's a curiosity, Sikajuma Media, and I met them on the first one who said, is Sikajuma. If it has a year, 20 didn't wear a first for your drum or any eye. Timmy Doma, so let me talk with it. I mean, you see this, but I bring a photo bar, your home. Efforts now say, private person cry a very assassin. Another private person will bring a bapa. Now a day. And so much I said, why you first a very assassin is a walk land we are. Now, why are the bones? Do I bones? You said about being sure I'm going to tell beer by yet. It's your bones to not stop a paper. Now, a bad quiet person will be, you know. We know we sure my pension. Na kushia asante kushia bako na odi nsuo gu rubber na wohwie enche na no kushia no tu na wo stare nti wo stare nyina no se kushia na basura ebeyi abapa na ma ena aba so wo ba hudo bebre papa na be ka ase ena esoro no so no ebeba mienu ti mienu ba ko ma ekuru ena ba ko so no emu oha eno na enya nsuo ti na emu oha enti anu bi na beba soro be te be ka ase no ena ye abapa ma enti de ekuru anu so no se wo ya so de na so ma na fra de wa ase na okoti wo wasase no so a ebe yi ni titententi anu ma na ba na wo de na ti gusu ko be si anu no so tu asi anu no so won sen so ma wonya de won to no tire nti oba ko fo de na o se fo de ne de e ma enti o mo chere sara yi abapa ni wi no wo wi a nchi na wo wi na fa wo ikohwe na to na wasa nsuhun no aworo abana kama ti wo a na wo de akoto nsuo ade achi ha na wayi enti wo yi a na wo de akoto ba bi a eho onyu wo hwe egu boto na wo de ato ba bi a eho onyu ebe de tu ne so ba kwa na apai enti bonso na wo waye no chipichipi kama na afede waye ne se bed and pasa no na apeja kakra se be ya nsuo no ense de ayina seed na wa nursery no enti wo nursery no ba sa gu nsam na wonam so se ya na wo ye ne se kakra enti wo ye kakra sa na wie ne sa so na efifi a ebe ye nwa se be ya be nya hoɔden na wo gu so a 3 weeks pepe na wo se utu na kwoti mo wasase so enti utu na kwoti mo wasase so 2 weeks so no na wasase man MPK nti MPK na be ma wo be man so di kai na ensuo no ewura bona waye nim nti ewura mu na o ma fet na o ya so kra na so waye yi ni bi oba betu atimu no wo de wo na asimu a ebe kofo muti no na wo de go nsa na waye kama se de be ya ni na be level nti sa so o ma fet na se nsuo no na o ma fet na ebi nkoda ba bi emma bi so na soro ba bi ni na be level kama se de be ya obia de watimu bia benya ne de enti anya 2 weeks na wa ma na sa MPK na wie no getting to months no na e was a master MPK ena ensuo na ye nyagum no kra ntine e control weeks na maye ewura no entimi nko esoro enti wura ne for no man second MPK. Now, almost second MPK, we are one so come on a pie, fat and a one man a pie, Cassia, oh, baby, a wire, wait a man. And so, Mother Sanchez, but not I am 1 year. And the idea went here, I have a boy, but before so some made a maybe, he said, when we say a secret, man, some agree for nothing say, a secret, man, okay, you see in a dear, and I'm not forcing my baby. It's a look at a woman, okay, and you could see a Catabo Rice Farmers Association, and whatever. For I don't know, a Catabo Rice Farmers Association. A Catabo, the is in sooner there, one of the year, Jumana, it is said in a map that cool. Now, a boy and a say, you know. Now, was that we Gino? Now, one of them we said, if you are over here, say, we are Bonnie be a new. And she getting to say, a someone, woman, urea. Give it, you know. Now, open say, back, I was some second time urea, and I said ammonia. Now, what they are ma assassin. Two people trying to say, what is that? The manager made him who ram. Some force why and to me, I'm glad I was on the way yet when they were giant cry. Or not what job boy, I be on the year, Juma. And to me, for so I'm a master getting to me for so I'm one for Father and you got one more a draw one a yama crown, no 20 cities. To me for so some America, I said a bear, but we say, yes, it goes Juma. And to me for so yeah, said I agree to phone by how much I'm in the prepare pay. Now, one day canoe. Let me talk about men of 3 bars, 4 bars, and a mitra. It's your moment who say, a second who wear Muna, me year binu, Bena 17. The 17 man, I am 1 year. Now, with me 3 times in a year. He said, you sooner me, number me 3 times. You may tell my goodness, I was a transplanted. And to me, as it says, Scab made me assassinate 2 acres. To me, as I was this Scab, because my bedroom was in a one buffer from my doors. To me, John was a ben my one out. It's a little one that if a first come and was our papa, I must tell a bell of a cup, Gromna day, my Jumano woman. It's a for simple years go by me, you gave me Vivian, let me service. Scattered service until we a system million. Still, you never could buy a money, some percent or talk away and be the year, Juma. Or said there now who professors go from so money your mamma. Or the machine and be rather than Peter skeleton and the bachelor. After what I was, let's go over there. If I can you come my own Obama or one my minion, we know about waiting and so a money on to what was coming out 70 million. To when I will go and listen, or so the wouldn't I would try to Mancasa. I did cheer, no man from home. I did cheer was Rahina, and I am quite from Montana. I'm said, you the jury. I mean, quite from one. Mesh your bank on my Scaramount, Mr. What a part my bank. Also, the common Jimmy my essay a one maker. And if you pay 10,000 a sort of summer, or Cotago and a buy. About the okra from Sam smoke. Would you the American through what's here? Maka boy and after now, on my man from one. They say, well, Jam, didn't remember my mother was well here as a JSS or compares to know when you're sweet wine. If you're a family, if say, me and be a Bianco school, but look one, and I say, my coyer from my mother is a moon female. Mamma so no more upon to me, I'm no good female. Dear mamma, boy, and to be friends of mamma, but some talk away I'm on a day, also said, Rahina did. Would they would ya run so mamma and man in your woman? The men of you saw a foot down wrong go Tagoya. Now, me forcing a pair back, come on, never must want to hear you. I'm so the fire, so but don't want it, ya. Fabu every kind of say a fire, so I just asked me as a kind of so one. To a Java boy, I now read or the year Juma. To be translated once, Macro will be cool. Now, a woman never my dear, and I was sent to me Pemedy. Now, my Pemedy and me got no fear to be project full frogs. I must have semi troubles, but trouble was 1,300. Now, I am 4 crates, equal assassin. And to me, yes, I now great fun bombs, and Rahina and Jumaya, we ya de fi so your ba e nche no wa ye mrem so Mr. Willie my way no ara he na serious na so Mr. Willie serious pa os anti me musa okunam so bisa me kunu ti me frɛ me kunu ama me kunu ba ho ma ne hu me da ba so hu no ti odi ma chi kura ko ba bia me prot no won ko hwe on wow why ya de na me ama o fi me best farmer ti rice farmer me nya award because last year ti me ji award no me ni aje ti me ni je and just na mo sa de che for France am na me one no ye S by academy di kai agra ti S by academy so ti me one Mama ya mi baba ye be na pa ya kese ma me bet e sa mu me ni aje ho papa uti mu no wa se le si pai no e wo ma e bro sa agra no nse se me ta mo ya mi ye me se agra nko na me ye wo so nti kuyayo okuyayo e ye sikajuma okuyayo okuyani ida diana ye ni okuyani ndi ena ta once ya obi ton sia eye business obi twa wo ya eye business no me so a me de e badwa no eye business no so mo se kuyayo eye sikajuma
and that's it. I guess the story is quite clear, and before she leaves, if you have any one or two questions, please. Otherwise, time is fast running. It looks like we have 2 more presentations by success stories, and some 2 man. And then there's another one. Yeah. Okay. I'm told that it will be proper to acknowledge what. Can I finish? Can I use my prerogative as a chair to put things in order? I believe that before the lady walked in here, if we had not given her the chance, we would have easily walked out, and then perhaps we would not be able to associate with her the way she did. But she walked in here, gave us 2 slogans that we can carry along. And for the sake of those slogans and for the sake of Mother Ghana's agriculture, let's give her a standing ovation. Can you? Hallelujah. Can we have another success story?
Funny, I thought you said Esikadru. The license. Oh, okay. See, Kujuma and Esikadru.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, my name is Alhaji Musa Ali, the owner of Tropical Starch Company Limited at Agrodumco. We process cassava into industrial starch and high quality cassava flour. I think I just want to say a small thing because I didn't know I was coming to talk. I was thinking I was just coming to listen to the specialists and then learn something from them.
But you're a specialist. When I came to your farm, I was so impressed.
So let me start. 2003, I was one of the people who went to Nigeria to look for greener pasture. So when I came back home in 2003, I decided to go into farming. And then I met, I think, RTIP that time. And then I collaborated with them. So I had a farm, about 100 and something acres of cassava farm at that time. And that made me to win an award, 2005, as National Best Cassava Farmer at that time. So with that, the people coming to buy the cassava were just buying at any price they wanted. So there was a need for me to add value to it. So I started doing Gary because my area is closer to Cape Coast. You see concentrated of a lot of secondary schools there, and they're very good secondary schools. And most of the secondary schools eat Gary. So I decided, because the market women buying the cassava were not giving me a good price. Luckily enough, I established a Gary factory, and it was very fantastic, supplying schools like Agri Memorial, St. Augustine, and then even Wesley Girls. So business was doing well, so I had to increase the farm through the help of RTIMP, that's the MOFA RTIMP. I think sometime I even gave some land for research on cassava on that my land. And we came out with a lot of varieties, Cape Vast, Banshee, and a lot of them. I think there's one of the agriculture officer, MOFA officer, who is dead now. His soul rest in perfect peace. He also came out with another variety, Ampong. So we were using all for our team. A lot of people came to my farm and did a lot of research work. I could identify some of you here, and then some from University of Cape Coast also were doing some research work on my farm. So with that, we decided also to do more research on our own, because Gary alone could not take us to where we wanted to go. So we did a lot of researches, consultations, and things like that, and we came out with something like industrial starch out of the cassava. So we're producing industrial starch, and then we did another HQCF. So a lot of NGOs be coming to us. They see how far we were doing. They started to come to our aid. Our team came in. They gave us some machines, and then we saw a lot of NGOs also, MOFA. They also came to our assistance, giving us some teaching our farmers. And then cooperative also came, how to mobilize our art growers. They all gave us assistance. So we came out with it. Until last 3 years or 4 years, Honorable Kofi Annan also got to hear about us and came to our place, then introduced this orange fresh potato to our place. So from there, decided, as we did to cassava, we planned that we'll also do something to orange fresh potato. So we formed an innovation platform, which I'm the chairman, Central Regional Potato Platform, I'm the chairman. So we've been having a meeting and finding our people. So we decided that with our machines, which we are using for cassava, we can also add value. So the farmers, some of them, and then we'll dry for them. And they're also going to, produce will not get perished. So we added value for them. So as we were doing Gary before, we also did some research to find out whether we can add potato to the cassava and come out with a good Gary, nutritious Gary. Because this potato, orange fresh potato, we get from our researchers that it has a potential. And then nutrients is very good for aged, and then lactating women and small children. So we also tried our best, and then we added orange fresh potato to cassava to produce a Gary, which is a Pomodoro Gary. I think yesterday when you went down, you saw it. It's still displayed there. And those who are buying it, especially the students, they enjoy it very well. Because when they are hungry, they just put the orange fresh potato, or apomutin, we call it apomutin gari. They do it soakings. You don't need much sugar. You don't need more milk. And then you get a very good nutritious food. So that's what we have been doing, and that's doing well. That has made us to buy the potato, orange fresh potato from our farmers, and we are adding value to it. That's encouraging some of the farmers also to plant more. And one good thing with that is, it's very good for the farmers if they can cultivate, because the timing, 2.5 months to 3 months, is matured for harvesting. So it's easy to do, and if you work on that, the profitability is even far ahead of cassava. So we are trying to encourage, especially the women. It's easy for women to do it. So we have been giving vine to some of them, and we even opened, I think, inaugurated district platform in our AAK, because we are operating at AAK. So we've inaugurated our district platform there, encouraging farmers to go into it. Formerly they were complaining of market, but now that we are buying from them to use for this apomutin gari, they are also happy planting it. A lot of them are making money out of it. So this is a successful story I want to share with my people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alaji, for your success story. For me, before we make comments, I'd like to point out one thing I've taken out of what he said. Sustainability. People came to him initially and introduced a concept related with technology, cassava, but he didn't stop there. He looked at the situation, looked at the market situation, and then showed sustainability through innovation and entrepreneurship. Because, as he rightly pointed out, he started this cassava without realizing that the cassava was being produced. He had 100 acres, as he said. And he took advantage of the fact that there were schools around where he can process cassava and sell to you. One would have stopped with that, but he went further when the sweet potato was introduced to him, and then added on another thing, innovation, so that he can keep his competitors. So this is one thing that for us, I think it was very commendable. Elijah, thank you very much for this type of thing. I think we've learned a lot of big lessons out of it. We have a last person who will do a introduction. Do you want to make a question?
You know, I realized that when he was talking about the varieties, cassava varieties, he mentioned ampong and associated it with somebody else. But we have the breeder himself around here, so it means that our Mofa people are not telling our stories. And you see where our story gets missing. And also the IPs.
Sorry, this is out of place.
Let me correct it before you go. That person he's talking about was my junior colleague. He is the late Ampon Mensa. And that is how I named that variety after. So it's right. Except that he said an agric officer. Yes.
Are you adding on it?
All the 1,000 apologies. And also the IPs. I just realized a very, very important tool he identified, and that is the innovative platform that they have established on sweet potato that has brought aggregators, it has brought processors, it has brought the producers and market linkages and the input dealers. So I want MOFA and the Central Region Relc coordinator to collaborate and see how they can use their listing as an entry point to expand it and look at how it can be sustained, and also use it to replicate other ones that will solve the problem of adoption and yield increase within our system. Thank you.
Time is not on our side. I understand we have another best farmer or something to make a presentation. So can we allow her? Hey. You see, the women are really showing their potential. They outnumber us statistically. So look at me, Mariana.
My name is Charity. My name is
Can you
yeah. Anyway, I'm a teacher. I had award from district, region, second runner-up, and first runner-up, national level. It all happened when my father did not take care of me. So at secondary school, I was reading at people's farm to support my mother. After secondary school, I went to training college. I was posted to Central Region. So I asked myself, whilst I've been working at people's farm, why can't I start something to support myself? So I started the farm. Those days we were having, we were closing at 1 o'clock. So after classes, I will engage myself in my farming activities. So I started growing pepper. So with that one, Mr. Cotto has asked me to produce pepper seed. So I started with the pepper seed. That time, Agrimat started building the store over there. So I started with them. Gradually, I got my land for my cocoa, plantain with cocoa, and the fish pond. Later on, I started the poultry with 50 beds, 50 layers at somebody's backyard, something. So later on, I got a land to extend the poultry. Currently, I'm having about 42,000 layers. I'm having my coconut farm, about 35 acres. And the last 2 years, import technology was introduced. So I've started with that one too. Currently, I'm putting on another structure for the IMO. When you get to my piggery farm, I'm having the traditional one, and I'm having the new side that I'm having this one. You know there are pigs over there. There is no noise, no scent, no flies. The cost of feeding has been cut down. The usage of water, and also the labor. I'm encouraging each and every one. The piggery is something that we can do it backyard, anywhere. And I'm also processing it. I smoke the pig, the pork, and the chick, the old layers. I smoke that one. With the coconut, I prepare the coconut cookies, and that one is helping a lot. So that is about. Yeah.
And as he said, she was 2018 second national best. Giving extending the technology to the farmers around. He's a member of the Relc steering committee, and we are tapping a lot from there. Thank you very much. Jima and Edward Nazara. Yeah, we look at the impact. The researchers mentioned that they generated the technologies and extension we disseminated. So after all this, what next? So that's what we are looking at, the success stories. So we see the figures, the number of farm visits. That's for 2018, 627,694. And we have number of farmers reached with improved technologies, 2 million plus. And you see the distribution, male, female. Then the number of demonstrations, 6,665. The total participation, 205,305. And you see the distribution, male, female. Yeah, these are some of the technologies farmers are adopting. You take a look at from soil. Yeah, these are some of the technology farmers are adopting. You take a look, that's cross livestock subsectors. And we have technology purposely for women. That the food-based nutrition, modern processing, food handling and food safety. Then production of charcoal. Then the new commercial technology disseminated, they are here. So this is from Central Region. The Farmer Field School we organize. These are the activities, what farmers are doing. These farmers and the extension officers. So Farmer Field School from Central Region. Farmer Field School from Central Region. As the name implies, it's Farmer Field School. And the issue is the Farmer Field School is expensive to run. So we come to the success stories. Central Region, Alhaj talk a lot. We have other processor units, Rakia. They all get the sweet potato, orange fresh sweet potato from one Emmanuel Amponsa. Dr. Grace Bonfrey mentioned his name. So they all get those materials from Emmanuel Amponsa to process into yogurt and sweet potato gari. The sweet potato yogurt is called potagot. Yeah. And Musa Ali to process Mr. Ampos, the leaves, the roots, the vines into powder. And Amposa sir, he displayed the products out there. And taking OFS, the vitamin A, which is very, very important for our health. So we look at the value chain. So this is Emmanuel Amposa's farm, sweet potato farm. And these are the products. The yogurt, the potagot, you have this in mix and others. And we have Mr. Amposa's produce, certified by Food and Drugs Authority. Then the gari, sweet potato gari, we train farmers in all this. How to package the gari. So you see a woman sealing the gari. So that's it. So that's the sweet potato gari. Still Central Region, we have this woman in the Jumako Enyanesiam district who is into cassava production. And he was using the local variety. The name is Wodi Wonye. Is that it? Wodi Wonye. Wodi Awonye. Okay. Thank you very much. And this farmer started using Sika Banchi. He started using Sika Banchi. It's a local variety. So Mata Kobi, started using Sika Banchi and is recording higher yields. And she processed this into gari. And because, as at now, Jumako is using her center as a good processing site. So other farmers from nearby districts travel there just to see what Mata Kobi is doing. So you see the cassava farm. That's the cassava farm. The cassava. That's the processing unit. And then they were taken through the packaging, and it's packaging the gari. So still in central region, Imo and Charity talk a lot about it, so I will leave. But we have another farmer called Samuel Addo. The names at times become difficult. Mr. Addo. Yeah, he's a young guy. So he is teaching others how to construct Imo structure. He was trained by Animal Research Institute, led by Mr. Peter Siedu. So the guy is very good. He's training other farmers around. So the benefit, we all know the benefit of Imo now. So they are all getting those benefits from Imo. So that's Imo. But one particular thing I want to say is that apart from Imo, they have the water fountain, nipple, where the pigs will suck the water without you fetching water into a trough. No. This time around, we don't do that. So water flow for the pig. Anytime they feel like taking water, they just push their mouth there and then they get their water. So that's Imo. This is Charity's new site. He's getting a lot, so he's constructing more Imo structure. Still, we go to Omwa West, where we have this farmer, Madam Mercy Fia. He started farming in 2016, 2 acres. But when he was introduced to the AEA in 2017, she took part in planting for food and jobs in 2017. And we see the increase in yield. He started harvesting 100 millibags of maize, 100 millibags of maize from 10-acre field, after he was taken through the gaps and the condition was favorable. So that millibags of maize, he produced plantain too. Plantain, he was harvesting 300 bunches from 2 acres. 300 bunches from 2 acres. He sold 50% of the produce at Agbogbroshi market and used the rest for school feeding program. So he's feeding the school feeding program. So 2018, he increased the farm size from 2 to 10 acres, and he got 900 bunches. So still 50% for school feeding program. Then the rest, he used parts to sponsor 5 students in a tertiary institution, then motivated teachers in her community to be organizing vacation classes for primary school, basic school. Then she employed 10 permanent workers and 5 casual laborers. This man too, Mr. Samuel Amwako, still Gomwa West, he produced vegetables. From 1 acre, he moved to 10 acres. And he gets 10 to 20 baskets from the 10 acres every 3 days. Every 3 days. So that's the farm, Mr. Samuel Amwako's farm. And the proceed, he started putting up building. So this is the building Samuel Amwako is putting up. And I'm sure the researchers will be in Central Region Monday, Tuesday. Will take you to one of these sites so that you see things for yourself. Yes, this is a very important area, physically challenged. This man, Pastor Dewakia, he has Mefi Joseph Training School, where you have physically challenged, precisely crippled people living with Down syndrome, and he's taking care of them. So they entered into agriculture. We learned when they normally use agriculture to, I don't know, something about psychomotor. I don't know much about that. So that those cripples will get some sort of healing, or I can't tell. So he's into that. So the guy is into agriculture. He's producing animals, including sheep and goats and poultry. So that's the farm, the Meshibo Chef farm. It's at Ankamu when you are traveling from Accra to Cape Coast, Apam Junction. Yeah, right, they have the structure there. So it's working with the Department of Agriculture, and they are doing a lot. Okay, so this is Central Region K2 Farms, located at Mankesin. He was using the tip-liter system, but he quickly changed to battery cage system. And he has about 32,000 beds, battery cage. Okay, we do I22 instead. So we go to Greater Accra. Greater Accra, we see the soil test demonstration to farmers. That's what they organized. And there was a tree planting exercise at St. Mary's School. Extension supported them to do that. Then grass cutter farm at Aimensa and catch-free farm at what is that? The inspection and monitoring of catfish farm, all in Greater Accra. Eastern region. Eastern was able to set up 11 taro demonstration. They are there, and the size 0.5 acre per demonstration. So that's the data there for the taro demonstration. So those who don't know taro leaf blight, that's taro leaf blight from Eastern region. Yes, this issue crop up. They said there was this guy, Issa Lamina, who was engaged in Galamsey. I can't locate Issa Lamina here. He should be there. So, this is the guy. Yes, that's the guy. So this is what they have been doing. A dangerous venture, but they have to do it to survive. So Issa Lamina started farming precisely taro, and you see the taro field. That's the guy. Yeah, Eastern region, they organize training for farmers on fall armyworm management, planting for food and job, ready for food and jobs, and planting for export and rural development. Oh, no, it's a mistake. This is for Ashanti region. Yes, at Obuasi Municipal, precisely. Okay, so we'll go back to Eastern region. Eastern region, we have pest management using pheromone and yellow card trap at Mpraso. So you see the pheromone trap being fixed. The pheromone trap. We use same for citrus. So still Eastern region, demonstration on drought-tolerant maize varieties at Okere, Pana 53. Yeah, they use Pana 53. And you see this implement. So many, we have these implements there that we can encourage our farmers to use. So this is the drought-tolerant variety, the Pana 53. Establishment of yield plots. This issue crop up, rice. Excuse me, when Prof. Menu made the presentation, we're not happy with the figures. Farmers, they are getting a lot. If you look at planting for food and job fields, the rice, the maize, and others, some are hitting 4.5 tons per hectare. Yeah. So here they are cutting yield plots. So still Eastern region, the cross-cutting issue, the HIV/AIDS and malaria sensitization program. Secretary. You see, that's why I say you mix the thing up and it wasn't easy for me to. Okay, they said it's Ashanti region, but this one is Eastern. Okay. So catch them young. Eastern region, they train the school kids in improved cassava variety, identification of improved cassava varieties. Yeah, they are into even the gaps, they train them on that. So Western region, you see Western region IMO model. They have this is the IMO side, and the pigs are there. So this one is under construction. So still Western region. This is a rice farm. They are using net to cover in order to prevent birds from feeding on the rice. And this one too is from Western region. This greenhouse. We should encourage this. Look at the plants. Sweet pepper, green pepper, yeah. And look at the woman taking care of it. It's just nice. So let's encourage our farmers to use greenhouse. So Ashanti region, this red planning session picture, the last one, the 2019 red planning. You see this Dr. Beshit, yeah. And still the red planning session. You see Ashanti region group picture. So still from Ashanti region, rice demonstration field. See how nice it looks, rice planted in rows. I don't know if the farm belonged to that lady who gave the testimony. And this is the rice. They are also using net to cover to prevent birds from feeding on the rice. So still Ashanti region, they have harvesting, processing, the threshing, for that matter, the use of bamba box. They are using bamba box, they will hit it. Our advice that we give them simple, this small combined harvesters, so that they stop using the bamba box. So still Ashanti region, no-till and conservation agriculture. You see how the maize is looking at? Green, pure green. So it's no-till. So conservation agriculture. Ashanti region, still no-till. That's how they go about it. They slide the top, then they spray using weedicide, and it's ready for planting. So Ashanti region, the where is not left out. This is what they have achieved. They prepare these dishes, and then the drink too is there. And soap rather, liquid soap. Yes, liquid soap. So this is from Ashanti region, the taro multiplication. That's the taro multiplication. This is the planting material. They do split corn. They will get it to plant, and you get your taro. So here, this is the lady. This is the power tiller, the tricycle that she bought. Is there. You see, this is the family. You see the husband. We, as the saying goes, they said, when there is what? A prospective man, there's something like that. But this time is the other way around. Yes, the wife is the one pushing, and the man is there chopping from there. Women allow us to chop small. It's one of those things. Okay, I like that. Yes, and it's preventing the birds from feeding on the rice. That's very good. Okay, she gave the testimony, so we'll leave it. This is from the woman. The testimony is there. Those who couldn't record, you can get this and then keep. Okay, that's the end. Mr. Chairman, I use the 10 minutes. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Peter, for keeping the time. I think this impact stories are well known to a lot of us. So I don't know whether there are any questions that we want to ask. Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Dr. Omega's presentation is very good, but my worry is that, yes, farmers are doing very, very well. But the figures reported are very, very low. And this is not coming from me. It is coming from straight, and it is a report that PPMED sends to MAC, and it is captured at, well, on the FAO site. And the yield is 2.6 tons of maize. Rice is a bit lower than that. And at our meeting, I said, well, but for something I would have disputed the figures. But this is the official figure coming out. Now we know that farmers are doing better. How do we get these recorded and then well captured by people who matter, so that we can all be very, very comfortable about the yields that we are getting? We know that farmers are getting up to 6 tons, but it's still 2 point something reported, which is still what the farmers used to get some 10, 12 years ago. So how do we bring up some of these things? I would want to suggest that Extension, you work closely with PPMED. When they are going to take their data, at least show interest, because some of us are a bit suspicious about the way some of these data are collected. For me, it doesn't reflect the true story or picture about what is on the ground. So Dr. Omega, it wasn't coming from me, it was a reported figure I picked from PPMED, from MAC. That is what they reported this year.
Hello. Yeah, to continue from where he stopped, I'm sure the possible cause for some of these figures is we are working with the farmers extension staff, and we can even in our small way do some yield studies. But the problem is that sometimes it is difficult to get the information from the regions. For example, the first 2 quarters of this year, we have not received reports, apart from Upper East region, we have not received reports from the regions, from our regional extension officers. They have not brought reports. Then recently, a request appeal was made, and 2 of the regions have added their report. So sometimes when we don't get these ones, I'm sure PPMD, they are compared to make calls to somebody who may not be too close to our farmers to give them the true situation on the ground. So I was going to ask that what is the problem with why we are not able to make reports on even number of farmers visited for our regions? I'm seeing the figures here, but we don't get it at the Accra so that we can. But we are taking note of your this thing that yield studies. Normally, even when they are going for monitoring, they call for extension personnel to accompany them to the region. So we'll work on that. Once I'm yes, Upper East. Yes, this is the only region that has. Yes. So I was going to ask, what if we have any challenge, we can discuss it here or at maybe another forum why we are not able to bring reports on the good things we have done to Accra so that we can shed light on it. Doctor, on the Martha Poby, the same thing on the yields. You mentioned higher yields without specifying. It is good once you are closer on the ground. It is good if he's registering higher, increasing yields from. We need to have the figures. It did not show there. Now, is it possible for the 300 bunches from 2 acres to be translated into tons per hectare? Because the 300 bunches could be 2 fingers, it could be 2 hands per bunch. And so it is good if you give us an idea as to the, in terms of metric tons per hectare. Then 44 demonstrations in the Ashanti region, we did not know where they were located. I saw a picture, Issa Lamar, yeah, when he was in the pit. That was in 2013. Let us, you know, the dateline was there. So we need to be, that means that it was the picture he took when he was a minor. So let's watch some of the pictures we bring to so that the datelines will really show the current situation. Thank you. No till in Ashanti, sorry. No till in Ashanti. Where was it? Rice demonstration in Ashanti, beautiful demonstrations. It will be good if we are hearing this. We may not be able to send these pictures to PPMD, but at such a platform, if we know the location, we can quickly tell them, let us go to Fumosa, let us go to this side, because they establish very good demonstrations. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to make a small contribution. I'd like to plead with the regional directors and also with you go to the Metro, Municipal, and district directors. With regard to the yield test that we're talking about, maybe they have a random sampling, and for that matter, they went out there to areas where maybe those farmers are not really practicing all the good agricultural practices. But I'm praying that they can help with the market, with the SRI people plus the field officers there, so they can go to places where, if not, where they are having good agriculture, to showcase that by practicing these good agricultural practices, we are having these results coming out from that. And that might will change the situation that we are having now. Thank you.
Facilitators, any other thing we are doing? Then on this note, thank you very much for helping me to steer today's event. I believe that we've taken home a lot of information, and personally I'm gladdened by the fact that we have a lot of technologies which are being used by value chain actors, and we have success story to go with it. We believe that if we continue doing this a lot more times, people would have different mindsets in terms of how they look at Rex. Because the problem has been that maybe we are not telling our own story, we are not singing our own hymn in such a way that people will dance to it. So we need to do that. And it's a shame that the big men were not with us today, but we believe that AKUAFO TV will do us some good to showcase these presentations a couple more times, so that those who wish to know about what is going on in the field regarding the Rex platform will get to appreciate that Rex is really relevant for the development of Ghana's agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we also want to show appreciation to our chairman for the day. And like he said, it's just unfortunate all our top brass are locked somewhere with equally important activities. But we are believing that Lord's Rain next year, we hope to organize this and make sure we'll have time to invite all the ministers and all of you to participate in this. So we will not rest on our oars, but we'll do our best to make sure, repeat it, but make sure we have all the ministers, the deputy ministers to be here to see what the research and Extension-Farmer-Linkage committees, and for that matter, research and extension the MOFA is doing in the country. Again, I'd like to thank you very much for your active participation. And I'm believing by now your intellectual property have been catered for in some way. I'm believing your intellectual property have been catered for in some way. And based on that, I would like to say, God bless you all and God send you to your various destinations, safe and sound, till we meet another time this year or next year, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
What's that to do, Pamasa, you know, Yasan, you know what you're shown. Get your Israel, get my kids, get your Ethiopia, get Sudan, what you're shown. Abaka, you know what you're for, Karaja, I get my one year, I mean, I'm fang. Abaka, you know what you're for, Karaja, I get my one year, I mean, I'm fang. I'm a Gamian Matu, I'm a Gaboyan Motu, I'm a Gaboyan Watumo. I'm a Gamian Matu, I'm a Gaboyan Motu, I'm a Gaboyan Watumo. I'm a Gaboyan Watumo, we not a catch my walk, Wabanya, Kayajan Mama, Kayajan Mama, Kayajan Sama, Gadangino, Kayajan Mama, Nimabami, what you do, what you mean, what you do, what you mean, when I do not remember you. Them say me no fit jump, them say you no fit jump, them say we no fit jump. Them say we no fit jump, them say you no fit jump, them say we no go fit jump. I'm a girl when you want to my boy, not a child, catch my walk, Wabanya. Nagbe wa you know, Padi Keteku you know, Umre Kwedu, Umre Kwedu, Smin the Ura,
AKUAFO TV den samana aba munje aya munje asam foto samana yade abramu amunje aya munje asam agriculture samana babo mayina munje aya munje asam foto samana agriculture munje aya munje asam yade abo agriculture samana yade abo